because I have the stream here so we can watch the comments.
Welcome back, guys, for another episode of the GhettoRig podcast. My name is Eddie. For those who don't know, to my far left, on the other side of the couch, we have Jay, my co-host, and Mickey behind the mics and cameras today. I would say he's the best of the best, but he kind of sacked us last time, so he's going to have to earn that title.
Who knows? I might have just sacked you again. I'm just joking. I didn't.
Kind of sacked us last time on the mics, but you know he'll earn that title back because I believe that he will.
Hard work and 30 burpees.
Yeah. We'll talk about it at like 210. At 210, we'll do like a progress report.
Yeah, check up.
All right, let's introduce our guest, very well-known face on here, good friend of ours, Kory Moegenburg. Yes, Thank you for coming back again.
Monster Moegenburg.
Yes, the Monster Moegenburg.
The black belt. Moegenburg.
The monster.
Brand new.
What's up, Rodolfo? How
Sheriff
you doing?
in town. You know what I'm saying?
I love this.
The new authority.
You've got the whole persona on right now.
You see this get up? This is like an everyday get up. I need like several different gis, several pairs of little tiny pants.
Look at these new shiny, beautiful.
So Kory's got some cool things to announce that since the last time he was on the podcast have happened.
Absolutely.
As you can see, he's got something nice and special around his belt. What happened there, Kory? What happened there? What is that? What is that thing?
Call this motherfucking black belt. if you're not a pussy and you continue to train jiu-jitsu, maybe one day you can, get one of these things. But
Yeah.
You gotta invest some time and not quit. You know what I mean?
It was so funny today when we're.
You'd expect the new black belt to have some humblesy, right? Like a little bit of humble. Like he's like, fuck that, throw it out the door.
I actually they wanted. This guy made this really long speech. There's another guy got his black belt when I did. And I could talk all day and I can get up there and tell my life story and all that jazz. But I was just heard the guy tell his story, and he's like, his end of his get-go, he's like, if you guys think I'm worthy, then I'll be a black belt. It's like, bitch, if you don't think you're ready, go ahead and give it back. Get back, get back in the line. You know what I mean? Fuck your black belt. That's why when he got done talking, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna get up there and say something stupid. Or, just tell you guys, don't be a pussy and continue to train and show up. And if you're blessed, maybe one day you get one. Half of you are going to quit. Half of you don't have what it takes.
Half. More.
So.
More.
I know most of you guys don't understand what it takes to get here. So I'd say don't get your hopes up. But don't get your hopes up.
This motherfucker, bro.
It's
one in a million. I don't know the odds. I'm just gonna say it's 1 in a million.
It's easier to get an engineering degree than it is to get a fucking black belt in jiu-jitsu.
I'm not saying I'm smart enough, but I could be a doctor if I just would have stuck at it. You know what I mean? But I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so
yeah,
that's all.
So it was kind of funny. We're on the mat rolling, and I was teaching the class. I turn around, look at Kory, go, Professor, what'd you think about the class?
It's different. No, fuck
that. It was like at first he's like. Like what? Huh? And then we both started fucking laughing our asses off.
That's like we got a black belt and go sit down. I guess I was supposed to go stand up at the front. I didn't know there's line.
Yeah, like this motherfucker didn't come in with a guideline. The belt didn't come in with a little guideline.
I was saying there's not like a black belt for dummies, so you know what to do.
You a rule book.
Yeah, 101 to black belt. You know what I mean?
I mean, you need to let you know what's going on, what you do after you get it. You're just standing there looking at it like, get up here. You're like, well, is anyone gonna lead me and tell me what to do? You know what I mean?
So how long from the start of your jiu-jitsu journey till I think it was yesterday, the day before yesterday, right? Has it been from the journey for you from white belt to black belt?
It's been easily 12 years. You could say if I really fine line looked at it, it'd be closer to 14. I sat there, looked at my first MMA fight was that 2012. But I had trained 2.5, 3 years before that. But it's I have to fine tune comb and be like, this is. I'm like, fuck it, 12 years. We'll just say it's 12 years and call it a day. Yeah. So it's about average. Get a black belt.
Yeah. It's 10 to 15 years, right?
Oh, well, after 10, when you have to be I'm like, yeah, that was another year. I don't want to blah, blah, black belt. I see 2012 we started. We'll just call it 12. And some guys are like, it took me this long. I'm like, all right, want me to really tell you? Let me look up the date. 13 or 14. What's the difference? 12 years, 13, 14. Same shit. Takes fucking forever. Time. You're going to quit before you get here. That's all.
Yeah. No, he's right about that because the only way I remember when I started jiu-jitsu was because it was during COVID and we were just done, remodeling my brother's home. That's the only reason I can remember because when people ask me how long you've been doing it, I have to go back when was COVID? Okay. August. Okay, what month are we in right now? Okay, so it's been,
I think I can tie mine probably to the acquiring of the gym. and like the gym pre-sale and all that stuff.
No, you were doing it way before.
That's what I'm saying though. That's my landmark though. I know like it's like 8-9 months before that.
Yes, yeah. And I was talking to him. I was like, one day I'll get my black belt, because I ain't going nowhere. I ain't quitting bitches.
Hey, you hear that? Jay's not a pussy.
Yeah,
you are.
No, so one day I'll get mine. And I was
here?
telling Kory it's gonna be an exciting day, but I'll always gonna always in the back of my head, always gonna think about that very first stripe that I never got. You know what I mean? I never got my very first stripe, which I think is like a very, like you'll remember your very first stripe. You know what I mean? Forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because that's the only one I've got though.
Huh?
Well, it's the only one I've got so far.
It doesn't matter because that's a milestone to show that you're no longer just a newbie, that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. You know what I mean?
I guess.
It takes a long time to get a motherfucking stripe. It takes sure as fuck long to get one of these bitches.
Yeah.
Sorry about the language, huh?
So hey, Miggy, can you pull up what are the time frames on getting stripes on a black belt? Because with a black belt, it works a little bit different.
It's like I think it's a year, and then you get like your professor stripes, so you're teaching stripes. So you've been teaching for like a black belt for a year. Then your first actual stripe on a black belt was, I believe, it's 3. Yeah. And then I think it's 5, and then I don't know what else.
So it's
you know what I mean.
Every 3 years for the first 3, and then it jumps to like every 5 years for the 4th to 6th one, and then it jumps even higher, like every 7 years,
and then goes to 10, 15. Yeah. Like it's ridiculous.
Then you'll see some people that just keep the red bar forever, and they add their stripes, and there's another one that has the little white marks that means the professor been teaching as a black belt for a year.
Yes, that's it. You're right, because they're the ones that get the white marks right here
on the ends.
That's what that is.
Ah, I didn't know that's what that was.
So it's when you've been a black belt for a year teaching. You get your professor stripes.
Ah, okay. I always wondered, like, I thought that was just a different looking belt.
I thought
you know
I
thought
the same thing. I had to look it up. Yeah. New black belt, I had to figure those things out.
Okay. Damn, I thought I knew the belt system pretty well too.
Did you go? Be honest. Did you go to bed with this on?
I was running around butt ass naked with this thing, dancing around the house, shaking it.
His wife, by the way, is behind the camera, literally like, nodding her head like this.
It was like true story. You know what I mean?
100%.
No cap on this one. True story.
Helicoptered it.
Yeah. See.
TMI.
When you get your black belt, you get these unlocked dance moves. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, stay in the game.
He does have.
But
the
this
best
is a lie
dance
for you.
moves
This
in
is
the
a lie.
business.
This is a lie because you already had dance moves before you got the black belt.
He did have the dance moves.
But have you seen them since black belt?
No, I haven't seen them since.
Stay tuned.
Well, sadly, we don't have the space in here. We'd have you break it out right now, but.
See, well, if you follow my IG, it'll be on there.
Okay,
yeah,
I'll have to stay updated.
Kory and I already had this conversation yesterday.
I'll have to stay updated and take a look at the gram.
Stay tuned is for real. Stay tuned is for real.
All right.
Yeah, he's gonna be putting more. So, but tell me how did it feel? Like you kind of had an idea of it, right? Like that you're getting it, but
you didn't know for sure, right? You just.
If I wasn't getting my black belt, I was gonna cry really ugly at that point, or burn the place down. So one of the two was happening. So it was on them what happened. So you want to see me cry really ugly, and the gym,
Or would it be both? You first would cry, then burn the place.
So
down.
I can see the high that has happened from giving you this black belt has now proceeded to last more than 24 hours.
How long have I been black belt?
No, I'm just saying, like, the high. This
is a lifetime accomplishment. So you guys don't understand. The high doesn't go. If I was here in life, I am here now. You guys cannot get this. You guys will have this. So you guys just look at it, love it, see it, and one day maybe we can look at one online. You can order one and just stare at it because you won't feel comfortable to put it on.
Permanently added to your cart to wish list.
Just so you understand, you know what the red bar means. I looked this up just why I know this. You know what this red bar means? No one knows?
No.
I think, from what I understand, it shows you that it's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu belt. Compared to like a karate belt or something. I could be wrong, but Google told me that. So unless Google's a liar, sounds like the red bar means it's a Jiu-Jitsu belt.
Well, there's got to be some sort of a significance to it. That red could like signify like all the blood and tears you shed to get to this point. So
they say
something there.
I've heard like this thing where they say you should put it on the barrel. They call that the barrel of the belt or whatever. Should always be on the left side because that's where like the sword would be pulled from or whatever. Or, like back in the day.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
That's why you look it up. There's like people talking about left or right. Some people would say that who fucking cares?
I don't give a.
Tie your belt.
If you can tie it nicely, that's all I really care.
At the gym I trained at, when I got my blue belt, you had to have your stripes on your left. Then I went to another gym, and their stripes were on the right. And I was like, am I doing this wrong? And then someone told me it varies school to school. Some people have one on the left, someone on the right. So, and your
What does
belt's
it matter?
tied. What are we doing here? It's the same thing with the beating of the belts, the gauntlet.
Talk about that.
You're supposed. Oh yeah, it fucking sucked. But I guess.
Can you pull it up? He has that on his Instagram.
Yeah, the gauntlet. Yeah.
You got to point out the exact moment when you got whacked with that special belt.
I would consider some more cussing that I'm supposed to do on YouTube. But some guy decided to wet their belt and to wet it, and whack people with it. Yeah, right here. There's the gauntlet. If you don't know what this is, you probably won't know what it means. This means you got a new belt.
Yeah. So just for the viewers, basically what happens once you get a new belt, people line up with their belts out, and you walk through it, and then they whip you with the belt, basically like
come train jiu-jitsu.
Commemorating the new
belt.
belt.
Either, but I think we know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, commemorating.
Adam definitely is like, why do we do this? This is very culty, and
yeah.
Like especially, I guess.
Which guy was the wet belt? Which guy was it?
Somewhere around right there. So I felt it really bit on the way back. So I remember I yelled, "You!" Oh my cuss again. We got us flagged. I said you're not a nice guy.
Oh, I can see the red.
Yeah.
I can see the red on your back. That one.
I remember saying you effing F or something.
Do you remember what color belt it was?
I know it had to be a white belt. The thing is, Adam will tell you that you're supposed to have your last whipping at brown belt, but I guess Edgar, when he got his black belt, for some reason they made him run the gauntlet. So going forward, black belts get whipped, and Adam's like, "Why are white belts whipping a black belt? Why you know what I mean? This doesn't make any sense."
Yeah.
So he's like, "Yeah, we're not doing any of that whipping here at this gym."
And this gym, our UFC gym is very.
I have welts on my back still from this thing. From this guy. If I find out who you were, if you watch this, that whoever hit me with some water, wet their belt, it's on. It's going down.
Yeah, I've done it once, but I was the guy that was doing the whipping of the new blue belt. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. One guy said he had to do one of the black belts actually said the last time they had to do the whipping of someone, he dislocated his shoulder whipping somebody, so he got injured.
But so
that's crazy.
At the gym at UFC we don't have this, right? You know, because it's very like non-traditional when it comes to it. It's very like laid back. You don't like line up according to belts, according to seniority. You just kind of stand wherever you want. You know, it's very lenient. You know what I mean? And it comes to the rules.
That's old school culture.
Old school culture. Yeah, that doesn't exist. Yeah.
You used to have to bow. Like at gyms I went to, you bow before you get on the mat. You bow before you get out. We have 3 masters on the wall. We pray, bow, whatever we're doing to all these 3 guys.
You turn around, you bow to the guys, then you bow to your professor, because that's like they'll be like, oh, stand up. Everybody stands up. They'll turn around, bow to the professor, to the pictures. That's how it was in Supremacy. They'll bow to the picture, then they'll bow to the professor, and then you go through, shake the hand, and then you start the. Professor will stand there, and then as you pass by to do your warm up, you'll smack the hand like a 5 as you continue running.
And then some gyms also they'll literally have you get on your knees and like meditate. I'm not saying you're praying, but you're like finding zone, like you're just like. I kind of understand if you're having like a hard, real stressful day, and you're like trying to. I get the concept of like you say you're supposed to learn a technique, but all day you've been. Going crazy, so you can't really. So you sit there and get there and you relax, breathe, and I guess I'm gonna learn some jiu-jitsu today. Really try, cause it's really hard. And you sit there and then you open your eyes and then we start training. But some gyms start their
some gyms have fucking weird little quirks about them. When it comes to
kind of thing.
Yeah, because the gym at first we didn't have to bow to the professors. Then you have to bow to the professors. You kind of do what they tell you to do. Most of the gyms I've been to, they're all like lined up by the belt. It's very traditional. This is one of the few I've been. It's the same thing was in Victory MMA when we went there. They didn't have that like the traditional setup.
Well, think about this. I'm a black belt. The day white belt like talking crap. That would never happen in another gym. Another gym that's like cultural,
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
white belt like talking crap.
Yeah.
He'd be like beat. He'd probably get jumped. You know what I mean? Like jumping outside.
And it won't even be the black belt. It would be the blue belts and the purple belts
Yeah.
whooping brown belts
Yeah.
whooping your ass. You know
Yeah,
what I
what
mean?
would you say to my
I
black
feel
belt
like
friend?
that's so like old traditional, like, because if you think about it, like, yeah, we're learning a martial arts here, but like at the end of the day, it's like a camaraderie thing, and like you're with your friends.
Well, think
right?
about
You're,
this.
You're doing this for fun, right? Why should you be going into an environment that you're trying to go have fun in that you can't, like, if everyone else is talking shit, you can't come in and talk some shit too because you got a white belt?
Yeah, that's,
But I think it's only
Now, disrespect is another thing,
Yeah.
right? Disrespect is a whole other thing. Doesn't matter what belt level you are. Disrespectful should be met with
Like
the
my
correct answer, but I always found that very weird.
like the gym in Pensacola I got to where I got a pro belt from. She'll tell you, my wife's right here right now. You walk into the gym and the air is just stiff. There's no music playing. You train jiu-jitsu. You don't speak during any. You know what I mean? It's real different. She walked in. She's like, "Whoa, what is going on here? I can't sit and watch this. I want to get my nails done." You know what I mean? It's weird. And you know, no speaking, no videoing, no fun. Train jiu-jitsu.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
No
Felix,
music while you roll either. Just straight. Just
Felix,
Silence.
yeah. Felix came from a school like that where it was very traditional structured, right? And then when I was talking to Dorian, and Dorian is like, I prefer training foreigners because foreigners, when you train them, like, you know, Russians, it's only United States where we like that fun aspect of things, adding that to it, because that's another selling point, right, to get people in. But overseas or anywhere else, it's very like, they come in, they train, they don't fucking talk to each other. They're there to fucking do work, and they get the fuck out.
Well, I
when it's done.
understand that if you're
100%.
going to like if it's a gym that is like a fight gym, like if you're going to ATT, right? Like say you're going there, right?
Yeah.
That's different, right?
Right, yeah.
But the UFC gym is like a family place at the end of the day.
No, I think I think it depends on the black belt. Honestly, I think it depends on the person that's running the school, what lineage they came from, how they like to go about it. You know what I mean? I think it just depends on the professor. Cause it's,
Yeah, but
at the end
depending
of the
on
day,
how
it's their
that
school.
depending on how that professor lays the groundwork of how he wants it run, he or she wants it run, depends on
the culture.
the culture of how it's gonna be and the crowd that they're gonna attract as well.
Talking about that, you know, it depends how she gonna want to run, or he gonna want to run. So this guy went viral on internet. He was a brown belt. He promoted his girl to a black belt because he was the instructor. He promoted her to a black belt, and then she turned around right away, promoted him to a black belt. That's how he got his black belt.
That doesn't make any sense.
He went viral,
How can he promote her to a black belt if he's a brown?
basically saying you're better than me. And I'm the instructor of the school. You're better than me. Here's your black belt. Because you can teach technically at the blue belt level. You can. You can teach white belts at blue belt level, right? As a blue belt, if your professor tells you're running the class, it doesn't matter who's there. You're running the class, because it depends how traditional the school is. You could be a blue belt running the class, right? There've been a lot of times when me having the judo and sambo background, it would say, okay, you run in the class, show only judo sambo moves, and there would be blue belt, the purple belts and brown belts, and then it was like he's running the class, and everybody had to like abide by the rule. Now the proper thing is to do, if you're running the class, if there's a higher belt, you always offer them, hey, would you like to run the class, because they're higher belt. And most of the time, either they'll say yes, but most of the time they'll say no, go ahead and run the class. You know what I mean? So
When it's a respect thing, man. If an instructor says, "Hey, man, this guy's teaching," obviously there's some kind of relationship. There's a, "Hey, man, this dude knows what the fuck he's talking about. Let him teach."
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he follows through. Don't sit there. That's the biggest thing, man. You can't sit there and just, "Hey, asking questions, cool." But at some point, it's like, "Hey, the move when I'm showing you, just do it." You know what I mean? To an extent.
Yeah. And the bottom line is like the professor has the right to override certain rules. That's why they're the professor. Like they know this is their house, their kitchen. Yeah, their kitchen. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know which one I like better. I think I like the more of a laid back environment better, because then there's no stuffiness. Everyone kind of knows who's good on the mat to begin with. Everyone knows who's good on the mat. Where people like approaching you off the mat, they're never done jiu-jitsu, like, man, like you move differently than most people. Like they can tell that you move completely different than everyone else on the mat. They can tell. They can pick it out without any experience. Right? So okay, everybody kind of knows what it is. So to me, like lining up in a fucking row, there'll be a lot of times like we'll do positional training, and I'll be like, all right, I'm not going with this person. Go ahead, you go with them. because I'd rather have them like go instead of me. I know I'm gonna do whatever needs to be done. I know I'm gonna get it done. It's no fun for me to do that, but I'd rather have them train versus me going in there. But I also know that I need to train, so I'll pick opponents that are much bigger than me, much stronger than me, because then now it's making me work. But if I get somebody like those kids that are like 120, 130 pounds, what the fuck are they gonna do? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's just it's not a good role. You know what I mean?
And then when you talk about it, like cultural, like I teach a 6 a.m. class. It's like 5-6 people. You know, and
yeah, most people it would be full.
The
it was somewhere else, it would be full.
And then one person shows up, right? And they're used to that cultural difference, right? So like when you're not going to line up, I'm like, for what? I'm like, you're about to warm. I'm gonna have you do a warm up. Like, all right, let's go to the wall. Guys, get your nice little line. All right, go warm up now. Well, now we just wasted time where you could have been learning a skill, and obviously you need it if you're not a black belt. Or you still need it if you're a black belt, but just saying, you don't need
sprinkles that shit in there a little bit.
Need a little less, I mean, a little bit. You at least know that you're wasting some time lining up. You need all the reps you can get. So get moving, get running.
I can't wait to watch this pod back and see you sitting on the couch, fucking spats and a gi.
He's in Valetudo shorts.
Yeah,
and I'm still repping repping the UFC. Going to Las Vegas, work at the UFC.
Yeah, we gotta get a new sign in here.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about that a little bit more. By the way, guys, I'm gonna quickly mention our sponsors. We're still UFC gyms are our sponsors. Vitality, don't want to take it away. Kevin graced us with his beautiful art. It's already on the wall. You know what I mean? Thanks, Kevin. But anyway, let's get back to it. But he's very sambo. This is what sambo people would wear, like those shorts and what they call it kurtka, which means a jacket. You know what I mean? And sambo doesn't have any belts. Like they do in a competitive sambo, but in reality they really don't. You either wear a blue or a blue belt or a red belt matching the jacket. That's it. There's no like
designation.
There's no designation. There's no levels to it. It's all about going to competition.
Kind of things like wrestling.
Yeah, very similar to wrestling. Very similar. The nogi, as a matter of fact, nogi is like that, right? Like very rarely do you ever see somebody giving you a belt.
But isn't it weird when you go to like a nogi tournament? It's still classified in like white belt, blue belt,
correct,
purple belt.
It has to be.
Well, that's why the 10th Planet guys, they have their own system. They're white to black, just like anything else.
Weirdest shit I ever noticed was this kid was training for 2 years in nogi, straight training, 2 years in nogi. He did intermediate nogi competition, and then he went as a white belt on a gi, which all of us were like, what the fuck? How you gonna, like, this makes no sense. Like, if you're gonna compete in nogi in intermediate, you should be competing at least blue belt level, right? Which is kind of unfair, but at that point, people are sandbagging. They're trying to get their name out there, get the medals to try to say, like, our school wins and things like that, right? Like, today, this kid was like, oh, I come want to compete. Where should I compete? I was like, bro, compete at the white level. But this is my opinion. Let's go talk to Adam, and he'll tell you exactly where you should compete. And Adam was like, how long you been practicing? And then, okay, you're a white belt. Just compete at white belt level, Because a lot of times people forget that at the white belt level, you're competing with people that are about to be blue belts, or their coach is waiting for them to win the competition to give them the fucking blue belt.
Think about this as well. I don't care if you're a white belt. It don't matter how long you've been training. Honestly, obviously there's different brackets. But if you've never competed before, you may get out there and literally poop your pants. Like, wow, this is crazy. Yeah. People are watching you. You have all these emotions.
Adrenaline dump is a real thing, bro.
If you go out there as a white belt and you go compete and you kill everyone, all right, now you know. Now you're not sandbagging. Next time we're gonna bump you up. That's just the reality. You know where you're at. Yeah. Let's be real with it now. Next time you're not rolling it like you have this much experience. We're bumping you up. You're gonna compete against guys that are better because obviously you're there.
Yeah, and then a lot of times people will go to competitions and you see them. They're literally ripped off their stripes off the belt. You can see the fucking. You can still see the the shadow of the tape and everything on there. Like, why do you do that? Like, just compete.
A white belt's a white belt. A blue belt's a blue belt. Purple. Just because you have a piece of tape on your belt, does it mean something? Yes, but you're still a pro belt.
Yes, exactly. The same. So a lot of people don't understand, like, especially this. Yeah.
He's got 3 stripes.
Yeah.
In the street, it doesn't matter how many stripes he got. He's still getting it.
Because, like, like a lot of the Brazilians will do this, especially if somebody's competing, somebody's competing professionally. A lot of Brazilians will do that. They'll have kids going through the world, competing at the world championships around the globe at that level, at the belt level, right? Because every time they win a competition first place, they get X amount of points, kind of like Formula One, right? And at the end of the year, they'll have X amount of points accumulated. So They could be the best. They could be somewhere in the middle, so on and so forth. But if they're the best, and then you'll see those kids that are at the best, let's say purple level, like they get promoted to brown, and the next thing you know, 6 months later, they're promoted to black. So they're already at the black belt level competing on a purple belt, right? And the difference, I think, of a purple belt versus a black belt is that black belt just knows more shit than the purple belt, but the levels are about the same.
Purple belt, yeah, definitely. A purple belt can definitely catch a black belt.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? Especially, you don't even matter if you're athletic. But, you know, you just because that purple belt, you're already developing your own game, your own system of attacking.
Yes, and you're already like setting shit up, like, because that's what I think that's what differentiates a blue belt from a purple belt. Because somewhere halfway through your blue belt, towards the end, you start slowly developing like the traps.
Yeah, blue belt.
When you're trapping people.
Yeah, blue belt. You're you know, but white belt to blue is kind of getting understanding a couple moves. Blue belt, you're kind of that foundation is like solid.
Yeah.
Then you go into purple, then now your foundation, your side control, all your basic positions are down. Then at purple belt, you're starting to play with stuff. You know, attacking more, not just
It's kind of like predicting the future. Like, you know, I'm gonna do this because I know you're gonna do this or that. And then from there, it kind of like becomes like a little thing, you know, like if you take a dot and you start drawing around it, oh, there's another place. You start drawing here and then go there.
When you're at a higher belt too, it's not even like, oh, you're trying to predict, but at the same time, even when you predict incorrectly, you anticipate that as well.
Yeah.
And kind of know, like, even if I fuck up and he ends up getting that position that I think I might be able to counter, I know how to get out of that position anyways.
Yeah, exactly. That's where, and then the black belt just knows more of that shit than a purple belt does.
Oh, yeah.
And at the black belt level, you probably done forgot more than you've learned. You know what I'm saying? You've done already forgot a bunch of shit, and somebody will show us like, oh yeah, I know that one. I used to do that shit all the time. You know what I mean? Not anymore. Oh shit, let me get back to it again.
Yeah.
You know? And I'll notice this because what will happen, I'll play a lot of guard, and then my stand-up game suffers. Now I have to go back to stand-up game to bring that back up, and then I go back to the guard. Now guard sucks again. It's like a dance. You know what I mean?
I came from wrestling, man. I was literally all the way to blue, man. I took you down, got on top, passed your guard, and then I freaking got my ankle injury, and then fucking that's why I have so good side control. I just decided to let you guys stay there because I had like 5 years. I could barely freaking do anything. I couldn't wrestle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just let you start with side control because it's gonna end up there anyway.
I can't wait some of those heavier dudes that are going to UFC when they're actually gonna start putting weight and strength into it, man. I can't wait for that because those guys are gonna be fucking strong, man. Some of those boys are strong and they've all done wrestling. They've got the wrestling background. You get a white belt wrestler like that, you can fucking quickly get him up there with skill level because they're used to moving on a mat. You know, they're comfortable.
The culture still moving towards more no gi in
yes,
the UFC gym.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
How many gi classes are happening a week? You'd say
same amount,
okay.
But the stark difference between the amount of people that are coming.
Really?
Like I'm talking about, like you talking about 8 people in gi versus 25 to 30.
Yeah,
in no gi.
As a business, yeah, I definitely would suggest more no-gi classes right now. That's why my 6 a.m. I gotta showing up like, can we do no-gi? And I'm finally like, okay, we'll make them both just no-gi.
A lot of people don't like the gi because gi is a slower game, and a lot of people don't like that. They like the explosive getting up.
I think it's just too hard starting off.
Well, think about this. They think without the gi they have a chance.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I can figure this out. You
Yeah.
put the gi jacket on, it's like, whoa, I don't want to step on there. I don't know what you got going on with that jacket thing and the pants.
Yeah, yeah. And plus,
I
there's
love that shit.
That's the truth.
Yeah, so Chris, I want to be like Kory when I grow up. Chris, you need to start, bro. I've been telling you this. You need to start throwing your weight and strength into the mix, man, because you're robbing some people of like that experience. They need to start learning how to act under pressure.
Especially at white belt, they have to feel that pressure.
They do.
And that pressure is not just your weight; it's the pressure of life.
I feel like that shit builds you as a white belt.
It does.
You have to be
That shit
smashed.
builds you as a white belt. Like I think
You really
the
want to do
number
this?
one thing that upped my jiu-jitsu game was learning how to like be on the bottom and not panic and like control my breathing, right? And be able to like once you can do that, it's like, oh, I can now think while I'm here, and now I can chill. And actually, I can chill long enough where I tire you out, and then I'll do my shit later. Like calming down in those scenarios.
I was a bully when I first started doing jiu-jitsu, from wrestling to being a fighter. I was a bully, man. I was messing everybody up. I was smashing
bully and Kory in one sentence. I was
smashing everyone, right? But everyone's not a freaking athlete. They've not done this their whole life. And I'm in just little mom and pop Gracie gym,
and most people don't come for that, right? Most people don't.
Oh no, and I don't know any better. I'm come from wrestling to striking to like MMA to a jiu-jitsu school, and so I'm like coming hardcore. Finally, this purple belt, and he's a firefighter. I never forget his name was Travis. I remember his last name. His name was Travis though, and he smashed me so many days, high mount, and suffocate me. Like I think it was like weeks, and then finally one day he's like, "Hey, you know why I'm doing this?" And I'm like, "No, like I'm a white belt. No, I don't really know." Oh, it's because you keep smashing the other guys. I'm like, "Oh, well, you could have just said that." So anyway, long term short, everybody needs smash so they feel something in life.
Because I look at it this way, like if you look at it in the nature, you know, when you get like wild horses, you have to break them. You have to break them first, and then you build them to what you want them to build, and they usually end up being like the fastest, best horses you can find, right?
Thank you, Travis, for that.
Yeah, that's what you like. A lot of the white belts will happen. They'll go fucking ham crazy, like they'll go fast, and then sometimes, like, bro, relax, because you can't think. The reason you're getting choked out, the reason you're getting tapped out, is because you're not fucking thinking. Relax a little bit, and you'll start thinking. You know.
Especially if you're drilling.
I feel like I never went through that spazzy stage.
No, you
starting
didn't.
jiu-jitsu.
You've been around us way too long, bro. We always talk about this. Like you already had the conditioning
I think it was like doing a bit of martial arts as a kid is what.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But in the beginning, you were still a little bit of it. Not as much as most of these people. Like 10 to 20% of that. But since then, your game has come down where you're like, I'm gonna step away. Like I'm gonna step back and then just continue. You know. So yes, break me like a wild horse, lol. Joe.
Pause.
Joe, pause.
Whatever you need, we can make it happen.
Joe is another one of those guys where he needs to start putting his strength and his weight, throwing that around, because he's a big dude, and those guys are going to be the mat enforcers, you know. Those are going to be the guys that are going to come in. Black belt's going to come in, and they're going to have blue belts on, and they're going to be smashing fucking black belts, because black belts haven't dealt with that kind of fucking pressure, you know what I mean? So those are the guys that need to be doing this.
Yeah,
we
need horse breakers in that bitch.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. And I think it's a very good crowd, because you got guys that weigh about 100 pounds, and then you guys that are up there, you know what I mean? And they can you know. And there's a lot of times when that matchup happens, you get a guy that's like 100 pounds, and you get a bigger dude, and then I'll look at the bigger dude and I'll be like, "Don't use strength." And look, what? Don't use strength. Okay.
But I don't have any skills.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because.
But I do. So I got a black belt.
but that's the thing, you know. If you get a black belt that's like a small guy, and they're black belt, those are the best ones to learn. Even the girl black belts are probably the best teachers you'll have.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was the purple belt, and I went to the other gym, and there's this little tiny girl, and she's a purple belt. She threw up a triangle, and I was like, "I'm so sorry, this is gonna happen." And I like muscled her out her guard and passed, and I was like, "I'm never going to your guard again.
Yeah.
Your jiu-jitsu's really good. Sorry, I'm about to smash your face."
Like the strength level is not there, but as far as it comes to fucking technique and skill,
what's the difference when you're small, you're tiny and small? Your technique has to be freaking flawless.
Perfect. Yeah.
You'll be a sniper.
Yeah. And some of those guys, I can see some of them are putting it in. It's not working just yet for some, but they're putting the time in it, right? One of the kids actually ended up throwing up on the mat today. He was working so hard, which is a good thing, man. Like those things, like I know it sucks, you're throwing up, you kind of feel like shit, but like the people that have the experience, they look at us like, yeah, he's fucking doing his job. Like that's good. Like, you know,
he's working hard.
Yeah, he's working hard.
I think the number one thing too is like, which I didn't understand for a little while, was like I there was a point in time where like I think I became very like stagnant in the sense where because I wasn't pushing myself any harder, because I got to a point where I felt comfortable. And I realized, like, every day you go on the mat, you do need to, like, at least at one point in time when you're doing your rolls, push yourself, like, right past that stamina limit that you think is there.
A roll someone that's going to push you, that can reckon, you know,
and that's another thing.
Go after it.
That's another thing, too.
I was about to say, it depends on your partner. Your partner needs to recognize that and just give you a little bit extra, because a lot of times what will happen, I'll notice myself, I'll give them back as much as they're giving me, right? And then a lot of times roll starts becoming stagnant, no fun. That's when I lately started like putting a little more effort into like when I know it's gonna get there, I'll put more effort into it, and then you see they start moving again. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Just go find a fresh, brand new white belt. He'll give you everything you got. He's fighting for his life.
Yeah, because everyone got a chip on their shoulder, right?
I love that shit about a fresh white belt though. When they're putting all the energy in the wrong places too. It's all
like a heel kick to the face, you know, I mean, elbow right there.
Like talking about that.
That's why I stay slow.
Talking about that, like today. Oh, was it today or yesterday? I don't know. I got elbowed. Good thing I got these droopy fucking droopy eyes. You can't really see it.
You look the same.
Yeah, and I don't have to be I don't have to be at work in front of other people that can see this shiner. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, but majority of people when they come in, like they don't want to have shiners. They don't want to have cuts. I've had cuts on my face
Yeah.
because accidentally catching a knee or something like that, or
You
an
know,
elbow.
that reminds me. Actually, we had right before the gym was before it was open, we had a fresh white belt come on the mat, and they were like, I noticed because right before they rolled me, I noticed they were doing this with other people too, like cross facing everyone. You're like putting
That's
their
for wrestling.
yeah.
That's how
I
they
mean, I
cross-face.
don't even think they were wrestling. I just think they were just doing it,
yeah.
you know. But he was like cross facing everyone, and he did that shit to me. But when he did it to me, he kind of put his head so far to the side that he was like doing it like this, and I was like, and I'm trying to like push him off and trying to like tell him like, yo, chill out, calm down, and he kept doing it. And I remember I was like, okay, and I just I just Americaned his ass right there because his fucking arm is literally like already like this. He's trying to like push into my face and like putting so much pressure that his head is on the ground almost next to me and his arm's like this. I was like, okay.
This has been my favorite. When they do that shit, what I'll do, I'll lock that elbow like this, but I won't put pressure.
Just hold it there.
I'm just holding it there. I want them to pull it out.
Yeah.
The minute that arm starts pulling out, that's when it goes, and that's when they're like, Yeah, but it's fun, you know what I mean? It's all fun and games.
I really do miss being on the mat. It's been a couple months for me and it fucking sucks, but
Well, the next gym is coming out next couple of months, so I'm gonna expect.
I just don't want to wait that long.
Why don't you find a gym for just right now?
I just know that the longer I wait, the worse and worse the more rusty I'm gonna get.
Drop it in gym
Bro,
closer
see, here's the thing: you can come in for the 7 o'clock class.
Yeah, I could.
You do the 7 o'clock and then jump into Dorian's class and do kickboxing right after, and you get your 2 hours in, and that's gonna be plenty. You know what I mean?
Class is fun, man.
The thing that
Dorian class is
awesome.
yeah.
I love
the
Dorian.
other thing is I already like I would leave work 5:30, then I have to go to the other job too on Mondays and Wednesdays. You know, so like go to 2 classes and then go to do that afterwards, getting home so late.
Why don't you dedicate one day a week? No,
I just need to start going more than that.
I know, just saying you dedicate one. That's more than what you're doing right now, right?
That's
Correct.
for sure.
One, and then slowly get 2. Because once you get back into it, I'm like, bro, I kind of want to get back. You know, it's just that.
I do.
It's always that like
it's like an addiction.
first one. Yeah, it's an addiction.
I've been sober too long.
Yeah, I know.
I've
been sober
yeah, rehab
too
is for
long,
quitters,
man.
bro.
I am ready for a relapse.
Yeah.
Ready for a relapse.
When it comes to when it comes to jits, yeah, rehab is for quitters and pussies. Yeah.
You can always come back. We welcome you back.
I know. That's all right. Well, you won't be here, fucker.
Oh, I
We'll go to Vegas just to see him.
Yeah,
I am kind of happy we have someone to visit in Vegas.
Yeah, because because I was telling him the story yesterday how we went to that nightclub. You know, we were walking through the mall, expensive asses mall. All we did was look into the fucking mirrors. We were afraid to go inside the stores because the prices were so high. This guy stops us. He's like, hey, I'm a promoter. I'll get you into the nightclub for free. Just make sure you get here by 11 o'clock. We're all there dressed up to go in, order a drink, $35 fucking dollars. When I told this to them, they're like, yeah, that's why. He goes, when next time come out, you get fucking 2-for-1 margaritas for $5, bro. Like, I was like, okay, now we're talking.
Go there.
Yeah, let's go there. Let's go to those places, you know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's go to those places, you know, because you're not there with the local. Like, everybody's always on that strip, and the strip is like the fucking Disneyland prices, right? Plus, you know.
Yeah, it makes sense. So, tell me, you were just in Las Vegas, and you were doing something very special.
I got married while I was in Vegas. And,
somebody took you as a husband, bro? How did that work out?
Gunpoint. Or I don't even need a gun. You know why? Because I got a money.
Yeah, they knew your potential of a black belt, so they're like, yeah, I better lock this black belt down before someone else
I know,
does.
that's like an extra perk. I know, right?
But you essentially got like your black belt and got married within the same month, right?
It's like, yeah, all in the same month. Got a new job, got married, black
So
belt.
not only did you go to Vegas and get married over there, what's going on now with Vegas?
I have
new game just dropped. Got a new girlfriend. I got Tostino's pizza rolls in the oven. Life is good.
You know,
Life is good.
I've made some friends while working at the UFC gym, so made my way over to the UFC Fit Gym. Found my way to the FD. I heard they're hiring.
What's an FD? Because most people don't.
Fitness director. They told me to go talk to someone there. So anyway, I heard they were hiring a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach, black belt level. But anyway, they had filled the position, but they're also still now looking for a head MMA coach.
Which is right up your wheelhouse.
Oh yeah, only have 50-some MMA fights. Plus now I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well, so that helps.
Take a shot every time he says black belt.
Yeah, dude, we'd be
fucked
wasting
up,
the
right?
first 30 minutes of the fucking
I talked
pod.
to her. I let her know my spiel and let her know that I literally can walk this floor right now and pick up clients to train and everything else. And So the waited to the GM showed up, and I talked to the GM, and he's also about to fight for BKFC coming up, and he'd love to have me down there for some training. And
some
so
sparring
bring me on.
time.
Love to have me on as a coach. So coming first of the year, I'll be working at the corporate location in Vegas for the UFC fight, being the head
That'd be cool.
MMA coach.
We'll for sure
man.
go out there, fucking
Congratulations.
see you. Yeah, congrats. No, like honestly, I told him yesterday. I was like, I'm proud to have you as a friend, and no other person deserves the belt more than you do. Like you've definitely fucking put in the time into it. You know, not only the time, like it's been a journey. You know what I'm saying? And I think these are the things that you're gonna fucking talk about this shit to your grandchildren. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's like most people. It's not just I do jiu-jitsu. I've over 50-some fights. You know, I've got in there and fought somebody. Most guys that do jiu-jitsu, they don't get punched in the face. That's why we do this stuff. But I do both worlds, so that's why I go to the UFC gym. If it be a jiu-jitsu coach, MMA coach, I'm gonna be doing the same stuff. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna be teaching no-gi jiu-jitsu, what I do anyway. So what's the difference?
Does it feel like? What's the feeling like? You know, you got your black belt and you walk into places right now. What does it feel like?
He already knew he could kill everyone in the room. What's the difference?
Nah, man. I think with the black belt, there's like. Nah, I know for sure. If there was any doubt, this is what I think. If there was a little doubt in my mind, you probably don't even have that anymore.
He didn't have that a long time ago.
I already felt like a god, but now I know I'm a god.
It's funny part is his wife's across the room, ready to like just throw a bucket of water on him.
Well, the thing is,
nah, man, leave the high,
truth.
bro.
I speak the truth. I'm a really honest person, and
so would you say?
Everyone know the truth.
Would you say this year, if you had any ups or had any downs, would you say this year is like a very good year for you?
I am unbelievably blessed, man. I got a wife, someone that takes care of me and feeds me. I got a black belt. Did you guys hear that? Black belt.
Yeah.
He met us.
Did I mention that?
He met us this year.
Yeah,
man. Life's changed, man. I got to work with awesome gym over at UFC Gym Largo. I'm thankful to the relationships and friendships I made here. Now going to work at a corporate location. One day I'm gonna have my own gym. So
this is gonna be a slightly deeper question, but where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I was have my own. I'm gonna have my own gym. Me and my wife are gonna run it, and I'll bring on another coach or two. You know what I mean? Teaching jiu-jitsu, kickboxing.
Are you going to do an affiliation with anyone, or are you going to probably run solo?
Oh, it just depends on how it looks on the market. We're going to run how it works out. But definitely have a year or so to figure that out, and we'll move on with that.
Yeah.
That's awesome to hear, man. I'm so happy for you.
I was looking at all these things going on the screen right here, and I saw like a chokehold and shit. I was like, holy shit. I was looking at you. You weren't doing no chokehold? That's wild. Sorry. It threw me all off.
I must say it's a privilege to have you as a friend and to be part of your journey that you've gone through this year, especially because I've seen it firsthand. So it's awesome.
Bro, when he met you the first time, I was like, it's like, yeah, there's this guy there, Kory. He used to make KFC fights. Blah blah blah. I was like, all right. At first, I was like, all right, whatever. And then, when Kory working out, man, that guy is a fucking trip. He's shadow boxing. He's talking to everyone that fucking passes by. And then I was like, okay. And then he's like, bro, Kory's the coolest motherfucker out there, And this is all within like a couple of weeks. It's like pop,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because I started working at the UFC gym, and during pre-sale, and I was there day one, right? I was one of the first people they hired. I was part of the group of the first people, right? And Kory technically was a part of that group too, but he was in Vegas during the week that we started, so he came in the next week, right? So he was still like part of like the original group. And by the time the gym opened, I think me and him were probably the only ones that were around since the beginning.
Yep.
I guess besides Alyssa, but she was there because she was forced.
She didn't make it.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't even really make it technically, but yeah, we were the only ones there, and so like I worked with him a shit ton. I spent hundreds of hours with Kory at this point.
He helped me understand how to use this thing you guys call a computer. I was running around with a tablet on the street. Hey, sign up at the UFC gym. We're opening.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think for the first 2 months, Kory only knew how to sign someone up on the tablet.
And Eddie was if it wasn't for Eddie, I would have never figured out how to use a computer.
Yeah. Anyone else would try and tell him.
You call it a computer.
He'd be like, nah, I don't need that. I can do it all here on the iPad. Yeah. And then one day I'm like, Kory, if you do it on the computer, you can do this, you can do that. Like if you need to fix something, he's like,
but I call it a tablet. I call it a tablet all the time. Like it's an iPad. Call it
same thing. Yeah. It's a tablet.
No, you guys didn't. Just in the office, you guys are like, why call it that? Now it's cool. Now that you're a black belt, it's okay to call an iPad a tablet or whatever. I understand.
It's the same thing. I don't know who was
now
telling
it's
you
the
that.
law. If you say something is true, nobody can contest that.
It's not
You
wrong.
got the black belt. Like, there's nobody can contest that.
It makes now my logic about me being being a god.
Don't tell him that.
Really
So now,
sets in. Now,
now,
oh my god, my life's not a lie.
now at home, when you're having a disagreement with the wife, you be like, babe, I'm a black belt. I know better. You know what I'm saying? That's literally
What's
like
what was the coach's name that gave you your black belt just now?
Ralph.
Ralph.
Garcia.
So whenever something happens, he say, Ralph gave me this and said I had the ability to
Yes.
put this black belt on.
It's the cheat code,
It
bro.
doesn't matter what's going
So
on.
because of that,
There could be like a city fire. Like, I got it, guys. Black belt. Fucking running in.
so I it reminds me. I watched a movie today of it's called that new Netflix movie Carry On. It's like a little Christmas movie kind of thing, but it's like basically TSA agent turned into spy. I think it's fucking
I
hilarious.
saw that,
It's like
but I
the
haven't
same
watched
thing.
it. Yeah.
100%. You get your black belt, you can do anything. I haven't tried flying yet, but it's on the
You
list.
think you could fuck up James Bond 007? You probably could.
Like actual Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig doesn't have a fucking chance.
No, not
Yeah,
actual. The character that he plays.
I
You
don't
could
know.
probably fuck him up.
I'd hope so.
I don't think so.
Oh,
You
let's
don't think so?
Bring him in.
Because
Does he have a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? No.
He doesn't have it in the
Done.
movie either.
Done.
no, but he does have a gun.
No. We're
Guns
moving
really
guns.
work
Come
on
on.
black belts, though? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Because you dodge them like it's Matrix.
Absolutely.
But
Oh man.
so no, seriously. Like, so what does it feel like? Like, talk about the emotions. What does it feel like? Like the raw emotion.
It's a life accomplishment, man. It's something that no one else can like really obtain or ever take away from you. Like you train jiu-jitsu, but are you a black belt? No, I'm a brown belt, but I've been doing it my whole life, But so you're not a black belt though.
No.
That's second defense. Everything else in life, you can do it. It don't matter what all my other accomplishments mean nothing compared to a jiu-jitsu black belt.
Yeah, because I mean, 14 fucking years, 14, 12, 14 years. That's a long ass fucking time. You know what I
And
mean?
you have to train. You have to actually be on the grind. You can't just get your do one class a week. I used to train 4 or 5 times a day, twice a day, Monday through Thursday to Friday, going open mat, and then you get a little piece of tape one day. You move forward. That's why I felt bad. Once we did freaking promotions, man, we did belts before stripes, and then when the stripes are going, like, hurry up, get up here, get your stripe. I was like, dang, bro, we should have it ruined the whole life to me as a thing going forward. I think you should do stripes before belts because I felt all the other guys were just like, get my little Misa stripe. I mean, even though it's a huge thing, but I think it's great if we just did stripes before belts because I felt bad for the other guys the whole time. Like, man, that's how I felt. I'm like, you get a belt, you get a belt, you get a belt. I just felt bad.
Now here's
for
your
him.
measly stripes. So
Yeah, that's how I felt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus like get rid of the little stuff at first and then move on to the belts. That makes sense.
To me, it should build up to something, man.
Yeah.
Now we're getting there.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been waiting my whole life for this, man. You know what I mean?
You got stripes all around the
But they
I
fucking
mean, it's
got-
like in racing. When the guys win the race, right? They have a podium, right? So first, second, third. Like they stand on the little platforms. They always interview third, second, then first.
But
You
I
know,
want to
they get
say one
rid of-
thing.
they get rid
Thank
of
God
the-
we started
the-
the day with me
the
getting
guys
my black
before.
belt. Because if I didn't get my black belt right then, I was sweating bullets right for that. This is going to happen. I have to burn this place down. I might have to cry in front of all these people. You know what I mean? He took it out the table real quick, so good for that.
Well, he was kind of sneaky about it too because he told to bring your wife, right?
Yeah.
But then he texted her back. He's like, "Oh, there's gonna be
Stripes, and
Stripes.
belts. And she's like, whoa, what do you mean there's going to be stripes?
Yeah." So he kind of said that, but then he gave that little bit of
Hint.
doubt
Yeah.
that there might not be a belt. So, which I think was good. In my opinion, you should have just messaged her and said, "Show up. Don't tell him anything. Just tell him that you want to go with him to training. I just want to take some footage for you right before going somewhere, and then just like go that route."
Oh,
Yeah.
cause I would, if she knew, she would. I was ready. You know one thing about this black belt. You better tell me right now, woman. Every moment, every second. I'm like, so you really know something. You're not tricking me. You know what I mean? Like,
And I thought I was bad with surprises. Like I've been annoying Emily and stuff. Like, oh, what's my gift? Like I try to catch her slipping. And
Bro, you were the worst one too. You always want
I'm
to
not
find
the
out
worst.
your gifts.
Clearly,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
clearly, I'm not the worst. I'm not that bad.
The best thing ever was she surprised me for her birthday party. She definitely had me believing. I was ready to run on foot to the gym for Adam that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny.
She's lucky. She's lucky. I had to go. She told me bring shoes and sandals, pants, shorts. So I left. She said shorts. She said sandals. So I ran back to put the sandals in my bag, and then she pulled up. But I didn't know what was going on. You know what I mean? I was about to run.
You know what? Me and Mickey were the only ones that rolled with the birthday boy that day.
That's very
All
true.
y'all, rest of y'all, a bunch of bitches.
No, bro, I rolled with him today because of his black belt. It was like, bro, let's go.
No. That wasn't. That's a different day. It's a different event, a different occasion.
Hey, Jay didn't make it
No.
out last night. What? Jay made it out last night with me. We're trying to throw Jay under the bus. I'm gonna help Jay out.
I did go out there.
He
Where
said-
were you? Where were you?
Whoa.
Where's this going?
Let's make this very
See,
clear.
I was
The
working.
only reason I even knew y'all ended up going was because I called Kory to congratulate him on his black belt and getting married. And he told me, I'm going to get a drink now with Jay if you want to come. And I was already on my way to go clean my
Yeah.
account.
He has
So-
2 jobs,
Yeah. Y'all can go.
3 jobs.
Both
being
eat
a
dick.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Right?
All I hear is
Big
excuses.
fat black one.
All I hear is excuses, no actions.
I'll be at the gym next week.
But yeah, no, today was pretty good. And, you know, it's funny because Kory, like, lines out with everybody. Adam looks at him and is like, what are you doing? Come stand next to me.
I was just sitting on the wall.
That's funny.
Then I was like, oh, yeah, I have to walk and proud. I'm a black belt now.
Yeah, it was so funny because it was like he was going in the line and Adam's like, what are you doing? Come here. You know, it was pretty good. And then halfway through, I'm like, Professor, what'd you think about the class? You know, when I said that, Professor, what'd you think about the class? At first, I was like, And they're like, oh, I'm a black belt now. Because that's how you're supposed to address him.
and
He's a
so-
professor
and
now.
So are you doing like Mika Galval and these other guys who are even doing no gi? You're gonna wear your black belt?
You know, I honestly felt
Like
like
me
that.
and when I was a kid in MMA school, we wore belts, but we wore like a t-shirt and
Well,
shorts, right?
I
But we
sh-
wore a belt
I showed up
on
with
top of the t-shirt and
I showed
shorts.
up with my full gi just to prounce around and just take some pictures like I was a famous person. And everyone had no gi on. I'm like, normally I'd be like, what's no gi's the shit? But I was like,
And he was
hey,
going-
where's everybody's gi at right now?
Yeah.
I need to I have a black belt now. Everyone, stop what you're doing. Gi's on now. Pictures. Now.
Yeah, and then he's like, man, I'm not used to this. People are always approaching me saying congratulations. Everybody looks at me differently because I'm not used to this shit.
I think that's why Felix likes Guy so much, because he likes to display that black belt.
Yeah, when they see the black belt, they're like, Master, how do I get there? And we just
Yeah.
touch your gi.
You ever seen that movie where it's like, don't be a menace to South Central when you sipping juice in the hood?
Yeah,
It's
great
with
movie.
those what are the brothers' names?
Marlon Brothers.
Marlon Brothers. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah, don't be
When
a
there's that crackhead that runs around like, pause. I'll suck your dick, man. Buy me. I'll suck your dick. Give me directions. Pause. You know what I mean?
When he's talking
So
about 100%.
that's why everyone today was like, Kory, I'll suck your dick. How did
Yes.
you get there?
yeah, absolutely. 100% how it felt. There's like the guys at the gym I'm at that don't even like talk to me or really like me. They're like, hey man, we need to hang out sometime, bro. Like, who are you?
Inviting him to weddings.
Where were you when
becoming
I was a brown belt, bro?
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
were you?
Yeah.
Now
You
we're
don't
friends.
want me at my worst. You don't deserve me at my best.
You can see it, man. Like,
You're inviting him to christenings. You want him to be the fucking the guy in charge of the
I've been
christening
with
and
Kory
shit.
since he was a wee brown belt.
Yeah, we
He
brown
was just a
belt.
wee boy.
Man, put my name in the wishing well to get a stripe. I know you got pulled, bro. You're a black belt.
So they say brown is like the fastest, right?
They say that.
They say that. Was that
yes.
your experience?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I guess you could say that. It was almost 2 years as brown. So
Usually the brown is the fastest, but then what happens,
It's-
especially...
it's they say 1 to 3. 1 year to 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years is max.
But with him, it was a little different, right? Because
You're always
He
moving
was-
gyms.
Every belt from a different gym. Yeah,
He was moving
absolutely.
gyms.
White to black.
yeah, moving gyms. On top of that, he was still fighting and doing things. So you kind of like... Life gets in the way sometimes.
That was
you
real
know?
interesting to hear from Adam when he was moving around in gyms. Like he was very like strict on like, yo, I'm gonna get my rest of my belts from the guy I got my blue belt from. Like, and he would go back to New Jersey, and that was the same one that got him all the way to his black.
Well,
But that's good if you're coach. You know what I mean? If you trust your coach.
let's just say it how it is. I have to just get something's telling me to say this, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. But my first coach, I said it before, it was a Colt, and like I wouldn't been there over a year training. Like I said, 4 or 5 times, twice a day, and I went and did a cardio kickboxing somewhere and came back, and they're like, "You can no longer train in this circle." and had me in some contract. And then, like, I remember it was after a long time, like, later on, I'm like, hey, guys, can I, like, come train there? Like, I'm like, probably, I was like a pro belt at that time, and I was going to drop in there. No, man, you still can't. I'm like, well, people drop into your gym all the time, but they're not, but they didn't sign the contract, and so it's in the contract that you can't train somewhere else? I don't understand how serious I'm trying to give you money.
Yeah, that's dumb.
But anyway, because long story short, because of that, I've not been set on one dude to give me a belt, a stripe, or whatever. I train with everyone, anyone, and I will continue to do so for the rest of my life. That's my say.
Yeah, because and that's the thing. Like you gotta trust your coach. Well, Adam trusted his coach, right?
Yeah,
that's why he kept going back to him.
My very first, that's what I'm saying. My experience with my first coach was so shifty and so jacked up that I'm like, I can't trust anybody now, man. You know?
Yeah.
I try to train at this gym's that gym.
And that's
So
the
I don't want
ugly
you to act
part
like
of the.
that.
And that's the ugly part of the.
I think you know someone, and then you go and train somewhere else and come back, and now you're just a black sheep.
Yeah, and that happened to my other gym where one of the black belts basically took 20 of the students from the gym and left, right? And then the coach is like, I'm not worried about that because the minute he took those students, because that same week I got 30 new people in. You know what I mean? He brought a bunch of people. He was more upset that the way the guy did this, right? But in the other gyms, they're literally about, oh, you took my students. This happens all the time. Blah blah blah.
You head.
That was the reason. That was the reason, honestly, why I get kicked out of the fucking gym because he thought I'm fucking stealing students, somebody else. And now the same students are reaching out to me. They're no longer there. They're reaching out to me and they're like, hey, what's the deal with this?
That's
it's
the
like, yeah, come
character.
by.
The coach's character, man. If you're a good coach, people are going to keep on coming. It's like, hey, that's my guy. Don't talk, don't whisper in his ear while you're rolling. Don't train at my gym.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that. If you're a good coach, they're going to stay with you. If they want to go somewhere else, let them go somewhere else.
Especially when jiu-jitsu is, I mean, you can call it a cult, man. A lot of people, they know there's a better school out there, but they will not quit their school because they're like loyal to their school. You know what I mean?
That's what
I hated this reaction when I was selling memberships and I would tell someone like, yo, man, like, oh, you do jiu-jitsu? You should come, like, roll with try out the jiu-jitsu class. Like, no, man, I ain't coming to roll
I
here.
trained somewhere else, bro.
I trained somewhere else, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
not coming to roll here.
Yeah.
And it's like, nigga, chill.
Gang.
We're just inviting
Gang,
you to fucking roll.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to go to your gay little cult gym, do your thing, bro.
That's like to me, man, as a coach and training, man. I'm like, when I first go somewhere, I'm like, hey, you care if I train somewhere else as well? And if they say yes, and it's cool, but as soon as they pull up the contract and all this weird shit, I'm like, hey, I thought you said I could train other gyms. Oh, I can't? You know what I mean? That's where we at.
Yeah.
So if a gym has to be able, for me, if you don't let me train at your spot and another spot and that spot, you're not my type of people. That's just me. That's me. That's how I work.
It was one of the white belts that I saw from Supremacy at the gym, and he was kind of watching the mats. I was like, hey, what's up, bro? How's it going? And he had a broken arm when I kind of was still there, and I left. He still had a broken arm. He's like, how's the arm doing and healing? I was like, are you going to come on the mats? He's like, no, man, I still train there. I just come out and work out. I was like, yeah, that's what's up. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know what his situation is, right? Like, all right, I'm not going to fucking try to recruit you. Yeah, I'm not trying to recruit you.
That's the thing,
you know
too,
what I mean?
right? Is like when you say it to people, sometimes they think you're trying to recruit and like steal them. Like, no, I'm just being nice, bro. I'm offering you to come roll.
I'm just asking if you train, man. They thought we'd do the same thing. I didn't know we couldn't just can't train on this mat because you train somewhere else. It makes no sense.
But you know,
What is this, a religion, bro? Like,
yeah, that's
You'll be beheaded if you walk on another man's mat.
Yeah. But that's the thing. At the end of the day, the vibe.
you have been banned from this chapel.
I swear to God, I tell you my whole life, man. I ain't gonna put this. Guys, hold. This means something.
There you go. It's starting to peak. It's getting there. He's got it. He's
So
got it.
I had this Gracie tattoo after I got my blue belt, and so the whole life I've had this thing, and I've been like I had a salty feeling because I would kick me out of the gym, but thankfully I'm a Carlson Gracie black belt from ATT, so it makes sense now. Hey, it works. So
Well, how does that work? Can you tell me? Because ATT is like its own school, but they're a Carlson Gracie.
yeah, they're Carlson.
The jiu-jitsu is
Yeah.
under Carlson Gracie then. Is what
Okay.
it is.
So yeah.
But the whole school is not.
Oh, it depends on the instructor. Some instructors could open an ATT school and be under someone else. Because they're just like a UFC gym. They're whatever it's a franchise you can open. The franchise, it helps. If you're ATT, it's easy for you to open a gym, from what I understand. Just like, especially if I have someone's blessing that already owns a gym, that's like I talk to him, want to open an ATT school, that he can help me open an ATT school, and et cetera, et cetera. But where he got his black belt eventually from wasn't Carlos Gracie school. He was from from what I understand, I was confused because he has 2 black belts. He's a black belt under the other guy's dad. I forget the guy's name. Some old school cat, and then he's a Carlos and Gracie black belt.
How does that work?
I've heard of that too. I've heard of guys having multiple black belts under different.
He's also a Chinese or Japanese black belt. He's like a multi-time karate black belt. The dude's legit, you know what I mean? But I don't understand you. But maybe you're just a black belt. You go train somewhere.
Because Felix is like that, you know.
Was a black belt as well.
Well, Felix has his black belt in traditional jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Right, traditional Japanese
kimonos
jiu-jitsu.
are not the same either.
Yeah. I just know Brazilian jiu-jitsu is the hardest one to get.
Yes, Brazilian jiu-jitsu is like the hardest black belt to get in all martial arts, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, it absolutely is. Let me be clear.
Kory, how's your back? Eddie's asking how's your back.
My back? Oh, it's all right. It has some welts on it because these guys decided to, beat me up a little bit, with the little belt.
With their little wet belts.
Yeah, they wet their belt. Someone wet their belt. I don't know who it was, but I heard they went over and watered it down and did the whipping with it. So
fuck that guy.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Would you now that you have a black belt, you have to abide by some code of conduct, right? Would you whoop their ass if you find out who it was? Would you destroy them on a mat?
It don't matter if I was a black belt or not. They would still get it. It'd be the same. But obviously they'd be calling me daddy now that I had the motherfucking black belt. They know who's coming.
Bro,
this signifies who I am as a person now. Black belt.
As you subbing him, you whisper in there, "Call me daddy."
I don't even say it to him. He just gets that feeling when I lay hands on him. He's like, "Daddy, no." You know what I mean? That's how you get with your black belt.
Daddy, chill.
I've already had. I was already MMA daddy. Now I got guys on my IG calling me.
They'll turn into Papi Muñeño guy.
Oh my god. All right, I think that's it for today, boys. We'll end it off there. Thank you, Kory, for coming in. This is an awesome opportunity to have you on before you go and leave us to Vegas, you fucking asshole.
You'll have to come train, bro.
Yeah,
I'll come
we're
over.
down for that.
That'd be awesome.
I can tell you this: I'd much rather come to the gym and train than walk around that fucking strip. It was a pain in the ass walking that strip.
That'd be cool when we go to Vegas.
Because by day 3, I was like, we're really walking the same fucking streets again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
No, you gotta come train. We'll go train. We'll go check out another gym. Check out some of the cool gyms, man. While we're out there, man. They got several gyms out there to train at. You know what I mean? So let's go jiu-jitsu journey. Bring your camera.
You know, people go bar hopping in Vegas. We'll go gym hopping.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You call that jiu-jitsu hopping.
Jiu-jitsu hopping.
All right,
that'd be cool.
Thank you for coming on today, Kory. We appreciate it, and we'll send you off to Vegas with lots of love. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for joining us. Shout out to UFC Jim Largo
Chris,
and
Joe,
Pinellas
Rodolfo,
Park. And shout out Vitality Wellness Centers. Go check those things out, guys. Links in the description. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.